Story time about why I hate my brother's girlfriend. So a little background information, I was 14 years old and had just started my freshman year of high school, and my brother and his girlfriend were both seniors. And we're gonna call his girlfriend Riley. Now, Riley and my brother started dating in the middle of the summer, and you would think since they just started dating and basically just met each other that I wouldn't know her that well. But literally 2 days after they started dating, she started spending every single day at my house. I'm being serious, like she had a whole duffel bag that had basically her closet in it. But that wasn't the problem. So in the summertime, my parents would plan a lot of family activities, and since they were called family activities, his girlfriend wasn't allowed to go. I mean, I think she would have been allowed to go, but she was also really disrespectful to my mom. So after one of our family days, my parents asked my brother if Riley would be joining us for dinner, and he just ignored them and went up to his room. And my room's right next to his, so I could hear everything. And Riley called him like for part 2. Part 2 about why I hate my brother's girlfriend. So like I said, my room was right next to my brother, so I could literally hear everything. And I guess Riley called him and she was complaining about me. She was like, she's the reason why your mom doesn't like me. I feel like she's jealous of me. She doesn't want us to be together, which was really weird because I didn't give a fuck about what my brother did. So fast forward, school finally starts, and Riley lived about 20 minutes away from us. So my brother told her that he couldn't go and pick her up for school every day. But obviously I would ride to school with him because we lived together. Anyways, eventually she had a problem with that too. So my brother and I had to start leaving 30 minutes early to get to school so we could pick her up. So the first time that we pick her up, we pull up to her house. And obviously I'm in the front seat and she's just standing there. So my brother rolls down the window and he's like, get in the fucking car, we're gonna be late. And then she literally has the audacity to start arguing with my brother in front of me about why she should get the front seat instead of me. Like for part 3. Part 3 about why I hated my brother's girlfriend. So like I said, once she got in, she started screaming about how she should get the front seat instead of me. So I turn around and I'm like, last time I checked, you've only been here for 2 months. Stay in your fucking lane. And then she starts crying because she's like, oh my god, your sister's so mean to me. Like, I just feel like I should have more respect as his girlfriend. So fast forward to the weekend, my mom said that she needs to have a talk with me. And she's like, honey, I know you may not like your brother's girlfriend, but you have to stop being mean to her. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I've only had one conversation with her in the last week, and that was to tell her to stay in her fucking lane. And then I told her about everything going on, so she calls my brother down to ask him if it's true, and my brother was pretty pissed off at me, but he wouldn't lie. So my mom said that she was not allowed over the house anymore, and that he wasn't allowed to go pick her up from school until I got my license. So that just caused more problems between her and my brother, so he broke up with her. And then she started spreading rumors that she broke up with him because there was something weird going on between him and I. Story time about how my mom made me shave my hair off. So a little background information, I was 13 years old and in 7th grade, and I had just moved to a new school this year because my grandma was really sick and my family and I needed to take care of her. And for like the first 2 months, I had a big problem making friends. Until I met my best friends, Ashley and Nicole. Ashley was super sweet and Nicole was kind of a bitch. And I was in between, so we kind of all balanced each other out. But fast forward to later on in the year, we met this one girl named Kelly. And I'm not gonna lie, she was super nice but really annoying. She would always try to talk to us, always try to hang out with us. She was literally stuck up our asses 24/7. And the one day Ashley convinced Nicole and I to have a sleepover with Kelly and her. So we say yes, and Nicole, Ashley, and I are all texting in the group chat. And Nicole goes, well, I'm not going to promise that I'm going to be nice to her. And she actually said that we were going to play a prank on her. And that's when Ashley bailed because she didn't want to be a part of it. Like for part 2. Part 2 about why my mom made me shave my hair off. So like I said, Ashley bailed because she did not want to be a part of Nicole's evil plan to bully this girl. So fast forward, Nicole and I go over to Kelly's house and I start to feel really bad because Kelly's actually super nice and she wasn't as weird as I thought she was. Fast forward, Kelly's sleeping and Nicole comes over to me and she's like, hey, come to the bathroom with me. So I get up and I go to the bathroom and Nicole pulls out Nair. And I asked her what the hell she's gonna do with that. And she was like, oh, I've seen some people do pranks on YouTube. You know, they put it in somebody's shampoo bottle and then it makes them lose their hair. So since I'm the only one who thinks logically, I'm like, Nicole, you cannot fucking do that. And she's like, oh, don't be such a baby. This shit doesn't even work anyways. All the videos that I watched, people only lost like 4 strands of hair. which made no sense because why the fuck were we gonna do it then? Anyways, fast forward, I go to sleep, I wake up in the morning and my mom comes to get me, like for part 3. Part 3 about why my mom made me shave my hair off. So like I said, Nicole put the Nair in her shampoo and I went to sleep. I decided I was not going to be a part of this little plan. And I wake up in the morning, my mom comes and picks me up. And Ashley's texting me saying, hey, was Nicole nice to Kelly? And I told her about what she did. And Ashley was like, oh my god, that's so fucked up. Like, I'm gonna tell Kelly. And I was like, yeah, I was gonna tell her, but I don't want to get Nicole in trouble. So fast forward to dinner time, my mom gets a call from Kelly's mom. And she was like, Kelly took a shower earlier. She's losing her hair. And Nicole texted Kelly saying that your daughter's the one who put the shit in my daughter's shampoo. So my mom's like, well, how do you know it was my daughter? And she was like, Nicole also said that she saw the Nair bottle in your daughter's backpack. So my mom runs up to my room. She finds the Nair bottle in my stuff, which obviously Nicole put there. But my mom wouldn't listen to me, so eventually she sat me down in the kitchen and shaved my hair. Storytime, I didn't know that I was dating my best friend's brother. So a little background information, I was 17 and a junior in high school. And I know you guys are probably thinking, how the fuck didn't you know that you were dating your best friend's brother? And we're gonna call my best friend Rima and we're gonna call her brother Alex. So I had met Alex whenever I was in 5th grade. We never hung out outside of school. We were more of just like friends in school. But I only met Rima last year. Also, Alex was a year older than us. Well, one of the art teachers who usually taught the senior class, she just gave birth to her baby, so they decided to mix both of our classes, aka the one that Alex was in. Well, my art teacher decided to pair us all into partners and have us do an art project. So I got paired up with Alex. Fast forward, we end up liking each other and we start dating. And usually whenever Rima and I hung out, we would always hang out over my house, because she said her family was annoying, and Alex and I would only hang out during school, like for part 2. Part 2 about how I didn't know that I was dating my best friend's brother. So like I said, we always hung out at my house because she never wanted to hang out at hers, but this weekend her whole family was supposed to be gone, so she wanted to throw a party. And she was like, OMG, you should definitely invite that guy that you like. Now listen, I know you guys think it's weird that she probably didn't even know that I had a boyfriend. Whenever I had talked to people that were best friends with her before, and yes, multiple best friends. This girl went through best friends like she goes through underwear. They had all said to not let her know who you like or who you're dating, because she would either try to get with them or she would get with them. And if she couldn't get with them, she would just send them nudes out of nowhere. So fast forward, I get to the party. She comes up to me. She's like, I'm so fucking annoyed. My brother's here. And then she was like, oh, did you bring the guy that you like? And I was like, no. And then I walk into the living room and I see my boyfriend. So I go over and I give him a hug and a kiss, and Rima starts screaming at me. After that, she told her brother that I bullied her so that way he would break up with me, and he did. Story time about the girl who used me to get with my guy best friend. So a little background information, I was 15 and in 9th grade. Well, at the end of summer, right before school started, this girl named Liv added me on Snapchat. And I had seen her all around school. She was very popular and a little bit stuck up. But I added her back and then I got a call on Snapchat from her. I answer very awkwardly and I'm like, hi. And then she was like, oh, I've seen you in a lot of this guy's pictures. Are you guys like best friends? And I'm like, yeah, sort of. And she goes, have you ever thought about dating him? It was just an extremely weird out of nowhere conversation. Anyway, so fast forward 2 weeks, I walk in the first day of school with my best friend Tommy, and Tommy and I have like every single class together. For some reason, Liv thought that we were friends and she would come and go as she pleased. Like Tommy and I would be standing at my locker, she would come over. Anyways, fast forward to chemistry. She walks in the class, winks at Tommy, like for part 2. Part 2 about the girl who used me to get with my guy best friend. So like I said, we were in chemistry. She walks in and she winks at Tommy. And I look over real quick and I realize that her nails were vermilion. That's Tommy's favorite color. And by the way, like I said before, I did not know this girl at all. We had never hung out. She never talked to me before this. Not to mention, anytime that her and I talked, she would only talk about Tommy. Fast forward a couple days, we're in chemistry, and somehow she got her assigned seat next to me. And she was like, hey, do you want to study for the chemistry test together? And I was kind of excited because I thought that I had a new best friend. So I said, yeah. Later on, she comes to my house. I never told her an address or anything like that, so I was very creeped out about how she knew my address. We studied for the test, and she goes, hey, do you want to hang out with Tommy and a few other guys tomorrow? Well, tomorrow was the day that I was going out of town. So she goes, okay, maybe next week. After being out of town, I came back on a Saturday, and the next day I get a text from Tommy, like for part 3. Part 3 about the girl who used me to get with my guy best friend. So like I said, she asked me if I wanted to hang out with Tommy and a few other guys. I told her that I was going out of town. When I got back from out of town, the next day, I get a text from Tommy. He was flipping out on me. He said that I was talking shit about him to Liv. And apparently I said that I was happy that his mother died. And a bunch of other bullshit. Well, after that, Tommy cut me off, so I was lonely, and I started hanging out with Liv more, even though she said that terrible stuff to Tommy and made him cut me off. So fast forward a year, he is a new best friend, right? I get a DM from her on Instagram saying like, hey, did Tommy used to be your best friend? Pretty much everybody knew what happened between me and Tommy, but she was like, that girl that you're best friends with is dating him now. And then he completely cut me off. So technically, she used both her and I to get with Tommy. But after dating for literally like 2 months, he cheated on her because she slept with 5 other guys.
Storytime from Anonymous. And before I start the video, I wanted to say I'm really sorry for not posting. I've been really busy with exams and holiday stuff. One day during the summer, I was with my friends on a trip to California. We were doing a bunch of fun stuff and just chilling when one day we went to a restaurant for lunch. When we got there, everything was pretty normal until I noticed a boy approaching us. He looked about 15. Mind you, we were 13 at the time. He came up to us and started asking us questions, like how old are you, if we lived in California, and stuff like that. We all kind of felt uncomfortable, but we kept talking to him. Then he asked for a snap. I gave him mine, and then we left. We didn't see him for the rest of the day, but while I was looking at Snap Map the next day, I saw that he was very close to us. I thought maybe it was a coincidence because we were right by the restaurant we were at the other day. But I still told my friends about it just so they knew. We kept walking around, and then we went to go get ice cream. I looked on Snap Map again, and I saw that the guy was with us. When I looked around, I didn't see anybody. I started to freak out, so I told my friends, and we decided to go back to the house we were staying at. As we headed to the house, I kept checking Snap Map, and his Bitmoji was following us. Storytime part 2. Instead of going home, we walked to another restaurant because we thought it would be safer there. I also turned off my Snap location for him. When we got to the restaurant, we got a booth in the back so we could watch the door to see if he would come in. When I looked on Snap Map, it said he was with us, but he wasn't anywhere in the restaurant. Then I called the police and told them what was happening. They said they were on their way and to stay where we were. Then I saw a man come in with glasses and a hat. I was pretty sure it was him. He sat in the booth next to us. Then I saw the police come in the door. They already knew where I was sitting, so I motioned to the guy in the other booth, and they went to go talk to him. They asked him a few questions and then arrested him. After he was in the car, the police came up to us. They said that he's been following lots of girls but hasn't been found, and thanked us for finally helping them. Storytime from Anonymous. One day, and it snowed pretty hard, and I was with my friends. We were playing outside, and there was a small pond by my house, and it was completely iced over. One of my friends, Georgia, said that we should go on the ice. Everyone agreed, but I was kind of hesitant. Slowly, all of my friends got onto the ice. The ice wasn't cracking, so I thought it would be safe. I was kind of nervous, but I still got on. Once I got on there, nothing was happening. So I started running around with my friends. Then I heard the ice start to crack. Storytime part 2. I look around and the ice was starting to break. Guys, I think the ice is cracking. I ran off the ice, but my friends weren't listening to me. They were too busy running around. The ice was cracking even more, and I yelled at them to get off. They finally noticed and started running. Georgia made it off, but my friend Anna Kate didn't. The ice cracked under her, and I saw her fall into the freezing cold water. I didn't know what to do. I knew I couldn't jump in or I wouldn't be able to get it back up. Luckily, the pond wasn't very deep, so Anna Kate swam up. She was freezing, and Georgia and I helped her up. Then we called the police and told them that we needed an ambulance. When the ambulance finally came, they put us in big warm blankets and called our parents. When our parents got there, they were mad that we got on the ice, but glad that we were okay. Story time! One time I was on a vacation with my family. We were in Seaside. One day we were swimming, and I decided to go really far out into the ocean. I was having such a great time playing that I didn't notice how far away I was from the shore. There was a few other people around me, so I thought it was fine. I was about 9 at the time, so I wasn't the best swimmer. I played for about 15 more minutes, and I turned around in shock. I was so far away from the shore. I didn't know what I was going to do. I started swimming back when I heard sirens. I couldn't hear them that well, see lights coming from the beach. The people around me started panicking. I wasn't sure what was happening. I thought maybe someone had drowned. Then I heard someone over a microphone saying, "There's a shark in the water, get out now." Like for part 2. Storytime part 2. I started freaking out. I didn't know what to do. I started frantically swimming towards the shore. I wasn't the best swimmer, but I kept going. The current was pushing me closer and closer to where the shark was. I was screaming for help and I was crying so hard I didn't know what to do. Then someone grabbed me. I thought it was the shark and I started kicking as hard as I could. I turned around to see who it was, and it was a man. He told me that he was going to take me to the shore and that everything was going to be okay. He swam really fast and we finally got to the shore. I saw my parents looking for me and I ran up and gave them a big hug. The end. Also, this will be my last video for about 2 weeks because I'm going to camp. Once I get back, I promise I'll post a lot more. Bye!